story opens in a room in a residential building, where Chen Yuan is looking at his phone screen and crying. The reason for his tears is the text that his girlfriend sent him. She is breaking up with him. He asks her, "What's wrong?" all of a sudden while crying. He texts her and promises to work hard and give her a happy life. But she blocks him before he sends his message. He lies over the chair like a dead person. His roommates do not know what is happening to him and call him to play a game, but he ignores them and runs outside. Seeing his strange behavior, they think it is another case of a breakup. It is the 6th time this month he has faced a breakup. On the street, people look at him and start whispering about him. They know Chen Yuan as a famous dog licker. Chen is here to meet the girl who just broke up with him. Her name is Shutong. She tells him not to behave like this in public as everyone is watching them. He tells her he knows she is angry with him. So he has brought her favorite guava pork. He asks her to forgive him and not mention the breakup again. He will change whatever is wrong with him. People around them look at them and laugh at him while whispering about him. One tells the other that he has heard that Chen works 4 part-time jobs to buy her gifts, yet he has still been dumped by her. Shutong tells him that she is not angry. Her ex-boyfriend came to patch things up with her. After thinking a lot, she felt that he needed her more. Chen gets angry and asks her what she thinks he is. He says that her ex is a scumbag. He asks if she has forgotten that he cheated on her and made her have an abortion. While he is yelling at her, a Mercedes stops by them. It's Shang's ex. He tells her to get in the car. Before getting in, she tells Chen that it would be better for them not to meet again. She does not want her boyfriend to misunderstand her. She leaves with her boyfriend while Chen stands there, watching them drive away. Chen throws the food in the dustbin and goes into a convenience store. He picks up a water bottle from the shelf and starts drinking it. He wonders why his heart is always betrayed, and if he will be a dog licker for the rest of his life. He angrily crushes the bottle and decides that there is nothing wrong with being a dog licker. Suddenly, he gets a notification that the most vigorous dog licking system has detected the host. A screen appears in front of him, showing his biodata and stats. He is surprised to see the dog licking system and wonders what the plug-in is used for. Unintentionally, he touches the breasts of a girl standing before him. She yells at him, calling him a pervert, and asks if he wants to get his hands dirty. She says he has been staring at her boobs for a while and asks what's wrong with him. The system starts showing the girl's data. Her name is Xu Lele. The system informs him that with the help of the dog-licking system, if the woman's favorability towards the host exceeds 95 points, the counterattack will be successful, and her identity will be transformed into the host's licking dog. Now he realizes that the dog-licking money worth 90 billion can only be used to spend on women. He is also told that when the opponent becomes the host's dog, 10 of the amount spent will be rewarded to the host's account and become the host's personal property. The host can also get other rewards. Chen decides to use it on the girl in front of him. He smiles and tells her not to be mad at him and that he will pay for her meal today. The system successfully binds their dog-licking relationship. His mission is to counterattack Xu. The reward for completing the task is 10 of the dog-licking gold and 5 strength points. These strength points can strengthen the host's physical attributes, including physical fitness, mental strength, and agility. Xu Lele is the flower of the art department. She is powerful and once made a man spend 30,000 yuan on her with just 3 words. Xu smirks at him and asks if he wants to play rich and flirt with her. The people around them look at Chen and think he is in trouble. Chen smiles and says she will know if he is good if she tries it. She says she wants to treat all her classmates in the canteen to snacks today and asks him to help her pay for them. She thinks he is dressed like a beggar and is still trying to flirt with her. She will let him know what it means to be embarrassed, but she is stunned when he transfers 50,000 yuan to her account. People around them are shocked. They think that this guy looks like a loser, but he is a hidden rich kid. Chen says that 50,000 is not much for him. He smiles and asks her if he can add her on WeChat. Zul is still struck and wonders if that guy is a rich second generation. So, she decides to play along. She tells him not to worry and that it is not impossible to add WeChat, but he has to come with her to a place. Chen is getting sweaty, as no girl has come so close to him before. She takes him to the brand store and tells him that she is not a gold digger. She just wants to see his sincerity and attitude. He tells her that it is not a problem. She can take whatever she wants. He wants to let her experiment with the dog licking system. Inside the store, he hears a familiar voice. He looks in that direction and sees Shutong there, shopping for luxury bags. He is sad to see her there. Zul gets that the girl is his ex-girlfriend. She blinks at him and says she has come at the wrong time. He smiles and says she has come at the right time. Zul goes to the counter and asks the girl there if they still have that bag from the spring sales. The shopkeeper replies that there's only one piece left, but the lady over there is trying it out. Shutong looks at Chen and says she cannot believe such a broke guy has brought a girl into the store. She decides to show him the difference between a loser and a junkie. She tells her boyfriend that her birthday is coming up. He irritatingly asks her if she didn't celebrate her birthday last month. She tells him that it was a birthday based on the lunar calendar, and people still have birthdays based on the solar calendar. Her boyfriend tells her that he does not like materialistic girls. He asks her if she is with him because of his money. She gets his meaning and gets scared. Zhu takes the bag off Shuang's shoulder and says she will take it if she is not buying it. Chen pays the bill and Zhu's favorability increases to 60 points. He smiles, thinking that that is the power of money. A bag increased her favorability towards him by 60 points. At this rate, Zhu will reach the threshold if she buys a few more bags. Then he thinks the amount of money he gets back is too small. The two store attendants whisper that they do not understand why some people seem rich and stingy with their girlfriends, while others seem ordinary and spend tens of thousands of dollars without blinking an eye. That's why the store manager taught them not to look at people through tinted glasses and that they cannot judge spending power based on appearances alone. Shuang is feeling insulted. Zhu makes her jealous and says that a bag is like a boyfriend. It is always better to grab it. Then she looks at Chen and thinks she must grab this big fish. She grabs his arm, calls him hubby, and thanks him for the gift. Shuang starts shedding tears when she sees that. She pushes Chen in anger while going out of the store and tells him that he has gone too far. He looks at her, smirks, and thinks they still have a long way to go. The system tells him to bind the dog-licking relationship to Shutong. Her current favorability towards the host is 10. When the heroine's favorability towards the host exceeds 95 points, the counterattack will succeed, transforming her identity into the host's licking dog. The counterattack completion reward is 10 of the licking gold and 20 strengthening points. Zhu asks him if he is relieved now and if she has done an excellent job. She also asks where they are going next. He laughs and says they are going to do more shopping. She cannot be satisfied with just one bag. He enters a store, points at a dress and a bag, and tells the shopkeeper to pack everything except those two things. Zhu's favorability towards him is increasing. After that, he buys her designer perfumes and makeup. After buying so many things, she tells him it is almost enough. She cannot fit it in her rental house. If she buys more, he says that it is not a problem. He will buy her a house. She feels ashamed and says it is not good. He has already spent a lot of money, and it's too much for their first meeting. Her favorability decreases to him by 5. Chen thinks that he might have scared her. It's true. He would also feel upset if someone had to give away a multi-million-dollar house just like that. He goes closer to her and says that she is a junior at the College of Fine Arts, 21 years old, 165 km tall, weighs 49 kg. Her favorite color is black. Her favorite food is Korean food. Her zodiac sign is Capricorn. Her shoe size is 30. Size is 37 and she likes to watch horror movies. Walking at night. He says he wouldn't be so abrupt if he didn't like her. He tells the shopkeeper that he would like to fill their store value card for exclusive members up to 500,000. And when this lady comes to the store in the future, they will directly recommend the latest model to her. She obeys his order. He tells her that if he has scared her, she should consider this card a gift to make amends. She looks at him with affection and starts blushing. He goes near her ear and whispers that if she cannot bear it, she should give herself to him. She shies away and slaps him, calling him a bad boy. With that, her favorability increases by 30. Even the store girls start liking him. They say that despite his humble appearance, this boy is so generous, and he is also very considerate of the girls' feelings. Chen thinks that it is true. The effect of the rich flirting is the opposite of the loser flirting. Xu says he has bought her so much, and asks if he does not want to buy something for himself. He replies that he has no money. She says that now it is her turn to give him a present. She thinks she cannot just ask for it. If she wants to play a long game and catch a big fish, she also needs to give something appropriately. She takes him to a men's clothing store and buys him a few clothes. Then she takes him to a salon and gets him a new haircut. His whole personality changes with his new look. Xu thinks that this guy looks so handsome when dressed up. Her favorability towards him increases even more. When she looks at him with affection, he thinks that this is the first time in his life he has to take care of himself like this. Fortunately, he does not need to spend any money. She lifts his chin with her finger and says it is not strange that she thinks they are a good match now. Then she says that she had a great time today because of him. For a few moments, she thought she was in love. She gives him a flying kiss and bids him goodbye. He checks and finds that her current favorability towards him is 60-80. He returns to his room. His roommates look at his new look and are shocked. They ask him what he has been doing all day and why he is dressed like this. He casually tells them he went on a date with Xu. They say he can pull it off, but he cannot even figure it out with Shutong, and still wants Xu. One of them says that Xu is the flower of the art department. Even if he gets dumped a fourth time, he must act according to his ability. Another one puts his arm on his shoulder and tells him to take his advice that he cannot handle these girls. After a while, he gets Shuang's text saying that they should delete each other's numbers if he hates her. Chen knows that she wants to mess with his mentality. If they delete each other's numbers, where can he go to increase his favorability? He will also point her to upgrade and make money. He replies that he can hate her when she has a special place in his heart. She tells him that she is being with a junkie because she is vain. Her mother is ill and she needs 50,000 yuan for medical expenses. Chen sends 50,000 yuan to her account. She is shocked and tells her friend that she casually said it to him. And he gave her money. Her friend asks, who is so generous as to send a transfer of 50,000. She shows him the chat. That girl is surprised to see Chen's name and asks if she did not dump him today. Shuang wonders if she made a mistake. She decides to ask him. She asks him where he got all that money from and if he is in a relationship with Xu. She also asks if he is some hidden rich second generation. But she gets disappointed when she gets no reply. Chen has put her contact on Do Not Disturb mode. He thinks Shuang is too teared up while Xu cannot act too hastily. He wonders if there is any other place where he can legally spend money on a woman. He decides to try the live streaming platform. The girl on the live stream tells her viewers there is still an hour left before she goes off the air. So if her viewers want to send gifts, they'll have to hurry. Chen looks at the comments and is amazed that she has earned $1 million in no time. It means he has come to the right place. He presses the rocket icon and sends her money. After seeing the amount, that girl is stunned. It is not just her who is shocked. The other viewers are struck as well. Chen gives her more money, shattering all expectations. At the headquarters of that streaming application, An employee rushes to his boss and tells him that an unknown tycoon has just swiped $10 million in Z's livestream. The boss spits the water in his mouth and asks if it is not their trustee. Seeing this, the other streamers start sending him private messages. They think that just a few points from him are enough to cover their salary for several months. Xu thinks that she is dreaming. She could not believe that someone had given her $10 million. A guy shows her a board where it is written that the boss told her to confirm that he will give her a 10 raise to get that lonely smoke. She understands the assignment and says she will not give up her big daddy to someone else. She sends him a flying kiss and thanks him for the gifts. She requests him to send her a private message, and she will give him 8 management. But Chen has slept peacefully. The following day, his fellows check out the search engine and are surprised that some rich guy swiped $10 million in half an hour on the stream last night. Chen wakes up due to the noise of their discussion. While brushing his teeth, he thinks he spent so much money last night and wonders why Mr. did not have any binding relationship. It means the bonding has to be in real life. Also, he wasted his money last night. He opens the app and looks at all the texts he had received the night before. He wonders if he is digging a hole in the chicken coop. His fellows are going somewhere and seem excited about it. They are in a hurry. He watches them go and asks what those 3 are doing without him. One of them says they are going to class. He reminds him that today is a public class. They can appreciate the goddess Xiao Yuki up close. The second one tells him he used to run faster than them and did not want to leave after class. Xiao Yuki, the campus beauty of Hunan University and vice president of the student union, is the dream of all boys. She is a pianist, a ballet principal, and a second-level athlete. Her outstanding talents and superb looks make her so difficult to approach. Chen is sitting in one of the rows in the student hall. Some girls look at him and say, "That guy is so handsome." They wonder who he is, as they have never seen him before. Chen thinks that a beautiful woman at Lakeside stands apart from the rest of the world. For 3 years, no one has been able to reach the top of this lonely peak. It must be worth a lot of money if it is hard to track down. Shuang and her fellow are also sitting a few rows behind Chen. Her fellow looks at him and asks if he is Chen. She says she has not seen him so handsome in a few days. She asks Shuang if he is dressed up especially for her. Shuang says that it should be correct, but she has a junkie now. Her heart is in turmoil in case they get into a fight. Her favorability is continuously increasing for Chen. Chen looks at her with a side eye and thinks, he just changed his clothes and she is getting favorability. He says that she is such a shallow woman, but right now, he has to focus on how to bind Xiao Yuki. Suddenly, he hears a guy asking his boss to show them how to conquer Xiao. Their boss is bragging that he will show them how he got her to fall in love with him. That guy goes to her and asks her for her Webtoon account. She is surprised by his nonsense, but says nothing. Her roommate, Uzofi, asks that guy what he wants to do with that. That overconfident brat tells him to add them on WeChat so they can get to know each other. Who grabs that guy by his shirt, pulls him closer, and asks if he is looking for his death. He threatens him with the tip of a ballpoint pen. That guy gets scared and says there is a misunderstanding. He just wants to join the student union. Xiao is the vice president, so he wants to ask for advice. Then that guy starts crying. Wu tells him he is a wimp with no good excuse for picking up girls. That guy runs away from there. Wu looks at Xiao with anger. Chen comes there and says he also wants to add her on WeChat. He shows her his phone and asks her to add him. The students are enjoying the incident today. They say that Chen is so brave. He is giving his face to others to step on. Ooh, says this guy is more handsome than the last one, and asks if he wants to join the student union too. Chen replies that he is not interested in the student union. Wu asks why he wants Jaya's WeChat. He replies that he wants to chase her. She starts blushing over his words. The whole crowd is stunned and calls him a fierce guy. They think this confident guy will cry when she rejects him, but Xiao agrees to share the Weichuan. Shuang's friend asks her if he is not her fish. Shuang is furious to see Chen doing this. Chen thinks everyone loves beauty, so there is no need to hide it. He says that sometimes the simplest means are the most effective. No woman dislikes being chased. The system has successfully bound the dog-licking relationship of those two, but her current favorability is 0. After the class, when they leave the university, his friends tell him he is so good today. He got Xiao Yuki's WeChat. He has changed so much recently, and he looks like a dog. One of them asks Chen if he can ask Xiao to introduce some of her friends to them. He replies that he does not have a single horoscope. She is the school beauty, and he is nothing. He tells his friends that they are exaggerating. Suddenly, someone tells him he is a loser with a sense of self-awareness. It is the guy whom you threatened. He tells Chen that he is wise. Chen tells him that he is the one who is more professional and that he will learn from him. That guy gets furious and asks Chen what he is talking about. He calls him a blind cat running into a dead rat. He tells him not to be so proud. Suddenly, Xu comes there and says Chen is so slow. She has been waiting for him for a long time. The boys standing around are shocked to see Xu talking to him. Chen replies that he will be damned if he is going to keep a girl waiting for so long. He asks her to allow him to buy her dinner and make amends. She likes his words and asks if she looks good in the clothes he bought for her. He replies that those clothes were made for her, and that the bag looks best when she carries it. He keeps praising her, and they walk away while talking. The crowd watches them go away together. That guy from earlier starts crying and wonders why he is one step behind. Shuang is crying with tears and wonders who Xu thinks she is. It was Shuang who came first. Xu and Chen go to a restaurant. There, she gives him a portrait of himself. She says that she stayed up all night to draw it. She also threatens him that she cannot spare him if he dares to throw her away casually. Chen is surprised and thinks this is the first time since birth that he has ever received a gift from a girl. Xu smiles and asks him if he likes it. He wonders if this is a bait that she has prepared for him. She planned to trap him from the moment he spent money on her. He smirks and thinks it is a shame he is not the person he used to be. Xu looks at him and thinks he does not seem very happy. It means he did not like her gift. Chen asks her why she is giving that portrait to him. He says that she made it by staying up late for him. He takes it from her hand, looks into her eyes, and asks how she should be responsible to him if she does not give him such a good gift in the future. She yells that he scared her and asks him to return her painting. He says he wants to collect it and use it as a family heirloom. He grabs her hand, pulls her closer, and says he likes her better in person than in her gifts. She starts blushing and thinks Chen is an expert in flirting. Her favorability also increases by 5 points. Seeing this, he thinks that if she wants him to be her dog, she should be a good toolman and blow up the gold. Suddenly, someone comes between them and pushes them away. That guy is almost crying, and his nose is running as well. He asks her if she did not say she is getting her nails done with her girlfriends and who that guy is. He says she is so good at getting her nails done that she can hug each other. He points at Chen and says he must be wealthy. Therefore, she even hugs him. He adds that he has been chasing her for so long, and she will not even let him touch her hand. Chen looks at that kid and thinks this unlucky kid must be Xu's licking dog. Chen is too familiar with this kind of treatment. Xu asks that kid who he thinks he is to her. She says it is none of his business whether she falls in love. Suddenly, Chen comes in between them and introduces himself. Then he asks the name of the guy standing before him and how long he has been chasing Xu. That guy replies that his name is Wang Yu, and he is from the Department of Fine Arts. He has been chasing after Xu for half a year. Chen behaves coolly and tells that guy that he chased a girl for 3 years. He worked 4 odd jobs and ate 8 steamed buns and pickles every day, but she finally chose to sit in someone else's Mercedes Benz. He tells him that those who have turned their backs on them will be their motivation for self-improvement. A real man should focus on getting a wife. He tells him to return to his dormitory, forget about her, work hard, make a name for himself, and make her regret her choice. That guy gets motivated and even starts crying. Xu wonders what they are talking about as Wang starts crying. He calls Chen and tells him that he is just her friend. Chen replies that he does not care about her past, but he feels like she does not respect him very much, nor does she respect herself. He tears that painting in front of her. He says she can still use yesterday's card, but they will not meet until she gets her relationship in order. He leaves her there and walks out of the cafe. He laughs devilishly and thinks he wants to see how she will cope. She starts shedding tears, standing there, and thinks this is the first time someone is tolerating her like this. She thinks she likes him, but she screwed up things. Her favorability increased again by 5 points. While walking on campus in the evening, he thinks that women cannot just hold it in their hands and give it a shot if they have nothing to do. He looks at his phone and says Xu's side has finished pushing the second tower. It is time to switch lines to Xiao Yuki. He checks her profile and finds that Xiao is broadcasting and she is an anchor as well. Xiao is sitting in front of a piano and greets everyone online. She tells them she is a trainee who has been live broadcasting for 2.5 days. Her specialties are singing, dancing, and piano. She requests others to take care of her. Chen thinks it is pretty cute and wonders if President Xiao may be cold on the outside but hot on the inside. He looks at the money she generated and thinks it is too low. Suddenly, he gets a text from Xia. He asks her who she is, and she reminds him that he gave her a bunch of rockets yesterday. He asks her if she is free for a meetup. She replies that she would also like to meet, but her schedule is packed. He tells her never to mind it. Then she thinks he has gone mad and says she will do a special dance for him tonight. He is furious that she still wants to trick him into swiping gifts. He does not even have a binding judgment for $10 million. He could give it to President Xiao. Suddenly, Xiao gets a notification that someone wants to peek with her. Chen is also glad to see that. It will be fun to watch. Zamir tells her viewers that she is matched with a new girl. It looks like she is sure to win. Chen also watches the match and says it will be hard to tell who wins until the end. It is a strange fate that the two of them match together. Zir tells Jiao to take a break. She says that her hand is broken, but Xu has the backing of a wealthy man. She is sure that she will convince this smoky guy with her farming skills. Till now, she has gathered more gifts than Xiao. However, she soon becomes shocked when she sees that the smoky guy has sent multiple rockets to Xiao instead of her. Xia is surprised as well. Xia is now worried as she did not get support from the guy she was getting support from. She has been told that her boss demands an explanation of what happened. Xia gets disappointed and apologizes to her viewers by saying she has something to do, so she is going off the air now. Chen smiles and says he can give her a gift. He could also gift someone else. She wanted to pin him down with a smile. He looks at President Xiao's live stream and says he has spent much money on her, so she should not let him down. At the headquarters of the Shark application, an employee runs toward the boss to tell him about the big event that just happened. He tells him that the Lonely Smoke gifted another 10 million. The boss wonders if that guy is a crown prince in the Middle East. Wu tells Jia that her broadcast has been trending today. He tells her that she will be popular soon and may become an internet celebrity. She is surprised but does not want to be an internet celebrity. She says that trying to please men online is not a long-term solution. The most important thing for a woman is to have a career and financial and personal independence. Wu tells her to stop lecturing him. He asks her to tell the truth if she knows the guy who gave her the gift. She replies that she has often told him that she does not know who he is. She gets irritated by his question. Wu apologizes to her and says he is just curious. Xiao says he has sent her so many gifts, so she should send him a private message to thank him. Suddenly, She makes a scream. Wu asks her what happened to her. Xiao shows him her phone and says she may know that rich man. Xiao thinks that Chen is the son of a plutocrat. He has been well-dressed and well-fed since childhood, but he has a low-key nature and always pretends to live an ordinary life. Having received an elite education, he was fed up with the gazes of others and just wanted to live freely. One day, he meets the girl he loves and bravely pursues her as a commoner. Xiao thinks this must be Chen's story. Wu asks her if she is reading too many novels these days. She does not care what Wu thinks and says Chen has lived well since childhood, so pretending to be ordinary must be challenging. Now, she has to thank him sincerely. Chen comes back after taking a shower and sees Xiao's text. She invites him to dinner tomorrow and says she will wait for him at the school gate. Chen thinks that she did not ask him where he got the money for the gift, but simply invited him to dinner. He wants to see what she is up to. The next evening, he reaches the school gate on an electric bike. He stops near a luxury car. The middle-aged man with a cigar outside that luxury car asks Chen if he is waiting for someone. He replies yes, and asks if he is waiting for someone too. He replies that he came here to pick up his goddess. Xiao appears on the road. Chen looks at him and is stunned. The uncle tells Chen not to look at her. He says Chen must work hard to earn money, or uncles like him will pick up all these beauties. Jiao looks at Chen and sits on his bike behind him. That uncle is shocked to see that beauty choosing that guy's bike over his luxury car. He sits on his knees and cries, asking what the purpose of making so much money is. Jiao feels like riding a heavy bike and sitting with her husband after marriage. They have arrived at a local restaurant. Chen parks his bike outside. Their orders of spicy garlic are served. Chen starts serving her food. She adores his manner, thinking he forgot to be a gentleman, even in a simple stall. It is the style of a noble family. Chen passes her the hand-glove box. She smiles and thinks he treats people with a sense of propriety. A little more attention, and they will be attentive. A little less, and they will be cold. He is very... Chen, a disciplined family man, wears a glove and starts eating lobsters with his hands. She looks at him and thinks this must be the most undersized lobster he has ever eaten. She thinks that if he is so rich in eating with her, he does not want her to be stressed out. She thinks he is such a soft, gentle flower of the highlands. Her favorability towards him increases by 10 points. Surprised by this sudden increase, the lobster falls out of his hand. She picks up a lobster and feeds him with her hands. She blushes and says she will peel the shrimp for him. He is amazed and starts liking her generosity. When she is feeding him, Shang and her boyfriend, Junkai, enter the restaurant. She is shocked to see Xiao feeding Chen shrimp. She is worried and thinks first it was Xu Lele and now Xiao Yuki. She wonders how he could be so capable. She tells her boyfriend Junkai that there are too many people here and asks if they can go somewhere less crowded. He grabs her and says he thinks there are a lot of acquaintances. He tells her that he is a person who likes to eat in crowded places. He goes to Chen's table and throws some money at him. He tells Chen to take these $500 and give him his seat. Chen looks at the currency notes that fell there and wonders what Junkai is doing and if he thinks he looks good like that. Junkai throws more notes and asks him if these are enough. Chen shows no reaction. Xiao stands up in anger. He thinks that he was provoked and wonders why she is so angry. Xiao angrily thinks about what that dog thinks of himself, that he dared to mess up her perfect date. Seeing all that money, a guy comes there and tells Junkai to give that money to him, and he will give his table to Junkai. Junkai grabs him by the shirt and angrily says he wants this table. Suddenly, he gets hit by a purse and one of his teeth breaks. It was Xiao, and Chen was stunned to see her being this brave. At that very moment, a vast woman appears on the scene and tells Junkai that he eats her food, wears her clothes, drives her car, and asks how he dares to use her money to pick up girls. That woman looks furious. Chen looks at her and is scared to his death. Junkai, who just got hit by Xiao, grabs his face with one hand and asks why Xiao King is doing here. She thunders and asks if she had not been here, how would she have discovered that he was having fun with women behind her back? She says Junkai is a beast worse than a pig or a dog. Junkai tries to play innocent and says she has got it all wrong. He asks how he could have a woman. He says that she has given him everything, so there is no way he could betray her. He grabs Shutong by her hair, pulls her, and says it was her. She seduced him. Shutong cries and says that Junkai is lying. He asked her first and also said that he was single. He slaps her on her face and tells her to shut up. Shutong looks at him with tears in her eyes. He again raises his hand at her and tells her to lower her gaze. Chen grabs his wrist and stops him there. He asks Junkie if he does not feel ashamed of himself while hitting a woman. Shutong cannot believe that Chen took a stand for her. She thinks he still loves her. Her favorability for him increases and reaches the target point. The system informs him that Lin Shutong, the dog-licking partner number 2, has a favorability score of 95 for the host. It congratulates the host for a successful counterattack on dog-licking target number 2, spending 50,000 on dog-licking gold, and rewarded the host with 5,000 yuan. Lin Shutong is transferred into a licking dog, and the host is rewarded with 20 enhancement points as well. With those points, his strength and agility increase. Chen bends Junkai's arm. Junkai gets hurt and asks him to let him off. He lifts a bottle from a table and tries to hit Chen with it, but Chen breaks the bottle and Junkie's nose with one punch. Chen tells him that there is no shame in eating soft food, but he is a beast who eats soft food and beats women properly. Junkai feels insulted and brings out a knife from his pocket. Chen tells him to watch out. Chen speedily grabs his wrist and releases the knife from his grip. Then he lifts him and throws him. Junkai passes out. The crowd gathers around to see the fight. Chen starts walking outside. Shutong looks at him and rushes toward him. She grabs his leg and says she was wrong and blind. She asks him for a chance to start over. He asks her if Chen, whom she is talking to, is the person who once carried her over 10 km to the emergency room at 3 a.m. Is he still the same Chen who saved up for half a year to buy her a cell phone, only to be criticized for not being the latest model? Is it Chen who knows she is frivolous and vain, but always believes she will look back one day? He tells her that the old Chen is already dead. She chose it herself. Then he leaves her there crying. Chen drops Jia at her hostel. He apologizes to President Xiao for the mess tonight. She replies that calling her president is too rude. He should just call her Kiki. She adds that she did not feel disturbed, but she got to see a different side of someone. She thinks that Chen is a person who is more and more impressive, the more someone looks at him. She has a hunch that he will bring her countless surprises. Shutong enters her room while crying. Her friend asks her why she has not brought an umbrella, as it is showering so hard outside. Shutong just calls Chen Yuan's name and says nothing else. Her friend thinks that she has heard that Chen swiped over 10 million for Xiao's live broadcast yesterday. She says this kid looks like a beggar but is so rich. Shutong is shocked to hear that and asks her where she heard that news. She replies that Wufia's dorm roommate said it, which is all over the women's dormitory. She thought Shutong knew. Shutong starts screaming after hearing everything. Chen is playing a video game. His friend asks him if he is outrageous. He is 118. Chen's friends ask him if he is a gaming genius after winning 18 times in a row tonight. Chen thinks that he did not expect that after adding 20 attributes, even playing games would become more accessible. This is a surprise. He replies to his friends that he is in good condition. One of his friends asks him why he does not become an anchor. He says that when Chen makes 1 million a month, he can fly with him. Chen removes his shirt and looks at himself in the washroom's mirror. He thinks the attribute points have made qualitative changes in his body, and he is in better shape. He focuses on his jawline and says that calling himself Pang Yuan of Hunan University should not be too much. He looks at his abs and says that with such a perfect body, he does not know which woman would be cheapened. Suddenly, his friend calls him and asks if he has fallen into the toilet hole. He tells him that the phone is ringing continuously. He comes out and checks his phone and wonders why Zul is calling him so late. He wonders if she is thinking of some new tricks to trick him. He calls her and asks why she called him so late. She is crying on the other side. She tells him that she does not know what to do and could only think of him. She asks him if he can give her $500,000. She explains that her dad owes a lot of money because of gambling. The family, which was initially relatively wealthy, has plummeted, and they have to deal with loan sharks daily. Zul says she is not a very materialistic girl, but she has to pay off her debts. Chen asks her to give her card number. He instantly sends her the money. She is shocked to see the figure, as it is 5 million instead of $500,000. She asks him why it is 5 million. He replies that it is okay. He accidentally hit an extra zero. Her favorability increases towards him multiple times. She thanks him for helping her and says she will repay him. Zul's current favorability score is 94. Chen wonders why it is still 94, and if his sudden help did not win her heart. He wonders if she wants to confess her feelings. Then he thinks that it might not be the case. The person who reveals his neediness first is often at a disadvantage. Whoever confesses first will lose. The next day, when Chen is outside the cafeteria with his fellows, Shang comes there and tells him that she has brought him a bun from the cafeteria. She invites him to go to the classroom together. His friends are stunned to see her bringing breakfast for him. Suddenly, Zul comes there too and says she has brought him breakfast. She guesses he is tired of eating in the cafeteria, which is why she made him seafood porridge. Both girls look at each other with hate in their eyes. Suddenly, someone else calls Chen at the same time. Now his friends wonder who the third candidate is. It's Yao. She says she has brought him beef noodles. Shong and Zul wonder why Xiao is there. It's like a boxing match between those three inside a ring. Her strong sense of oppression fears those two. They think that is the power of being number 2 on the school's beauty list. Chen asks Xiao how she knows that he likes to eat beef noodles. She says she just assumed he likes spicy food when they ate crayfish yesterday, and knows a great place that serves it. He replies that it feels so good to be cared about by others. He thanks Kiki. He thinks that he expected this from Xiao. She could gauge his taste through the details, and without making a sound. Xiao welcomes him and says, of course, giving breakfast is a priority. She adds that if one does not care for the other party's liking, how can they say they like them? Shutong and Zul are annoyed to hear that. It feels like she is punching them very severely. Xiao gives him a gift and says it is to express her gratitude. Chen asks if it is the newly released F15 Pro Max. Chen's friends are shocked to see him getting the latest mobile phone model as a gift. Seeing him receive the gift makes them feel worse than the death of their fathers. Even Shang and Zul are surprised to see her willingness towards him, as that phone costs more than 10,000 yuan. This feels like she has knocked them in a single move. Chen tells her she does not need to spend so much on him. She replies that he has spent more on her. She does not have much money. It is a favor to him. He says that he will accept it. Then they both walk away, leaving the others standing there. Shutong says she wants Chen back and wonders why it is so hard. She is sad because it has only been a few days, and another girl has appeared.